I want to speak to you today about the opioid epidemic, which affects many of our lives. For those of us that work in the funeral service industry, we see how it impacts the families and the funeral home. In 45 states by 2014, deaths by drug-related causes had quadrupled those by murder. Physicians began cutting back on prescribing painkillers, and the government got involved, and the doctor's ability to write certain prescriptions was mandated. Thus, the abuser becomes desperate and seeks other ways to get their fix or their drugs. The funeral home industry is conflicted with helping the families, while also they must stay in business. Payment plans, service packages of varying total costs, credit card payments, and assistance from churches and civic groups are often available. The funeral industry must meet the needs of those grieving families, whether or not adequate financing is available. In the short time that I've been employed at Pinkard Funeral Home, there have been 5 directly or indirectly cases that somebody had died of drug use or overdosing. A pharmacist, retired electrical technician, a father of 5, a nurse, and a single disabled female. A couple of personal cases that I'm familiar with. The first one was a prominent man in the community, a manager, had a beautiful wife, beautiful kids, made good money, great support system. He was the picture of success. In spite of all the good, it was never good enough. He dealt with depression, got hooked on painkillers. He started losing everything. Until it was too late. He died in a tragic accident, and the family had to plan for life without their daddy and husband. Compassion and understanding is just one part of being the funeral director. A more recent death was of a 54-year-old female who had a history of alcohol and drug use. Her brother had died 36 years to the date before she did, and it was also because of drugs. Losing her brother was a factor in her depression and going down the path that she chose: partying, drinking, and drugs. Like the first example, her life began to deteriorate, and she started losing jobs, never had enough money, and she ended up living in subsidized housing because of this. Once again, parents were left with heartache to bury a loved one. As you can see from these examples, we all have to deal with this, with the opioid epidemic that's in our country as individuals and in the funeral service industry. Thank you.